Hi, the topic of this video will be roots in words. Students will learn to examine the roots of words and relate them to words with similar roots, have the resources available to discover words at a quicker pace and use them, and be attentive to words they do not recognize and how to figure out the general idea of what they mean. So, let's get started. Do these words look similar? What do they mean? Can we figure out what they mean just by looking at the roots? Here, I'll help you out. The words are żyzen, żytil, żit, żytio, żytoi, żytot, and żyvoltny. What do you think they mean? What if I told you that the root you see underlined here is a Russian root for life, and the words you just heard translate as the following: żyzen, meaning life, żytil, meaning inhabitant, żit is the verb to live, żytio, meaning life or existence, živoi, meaning living or alive, živolt, meaning belly, and żyvoltny, meaning animal. Can you see how this root could give clues to what the context of the word is if you didn't know the word and only knew the root? The root ży has to do with living, has to do with life, like all the things listed. Okay, so that's great for Russian, but what about English? Can this same thing be done in the English language? Where do our roots come from? Can you actually look at roots and figure out words? Well, the answer is yes. You can at least figure out the context of a word. Do you recognize all the words here? Forsake, embezzle, empathy, deride, elated, eloquent, fabricate? Perhaps you do, perhaps you don't. But whenever you come across new and difficult words, whenever you know the root, or could at least figure out the root and relate it to a different word, these words don't become so difficult. Let's look at an example. Most all English roots come from Greek and Latin. Some of these roots you may be aware of and might not even know it. Let's go and look at those examples. Vac is Latin root that means empty. This is found in words like evacuate and vacate. Port is a Latin root for carry, found in words like export and portable. Path is a Greek root for feel. This can be found in words like empathy and pathetic. Tele is a Latin root for far off. This can be found in words like telecast and telephone. Bio is a Greek root for life, found in biology and biography. Can you think of any other words that these roots are found in? If so, jot them down. They may be useful in the future. I know what you're thinking. That makes sense now that you point it out, but how was I supposed to know that? Well, let's put it to practice. I'm going to give you some words and identify the root for you, and I want you to guess the meaning. You'll have as much time as you need to, and the questions will appear on the screen. Are you guys ready? Okay, get ready. The words are dictate and diction. The root is a Latin one. It is dict. What do you think the root means? If you guessed to say or something similar, you are correct. Now let's try something a bit harder. I'm going to give you the words and I want you to identify both the root and the meaning. Feel free to write it down, underline it, take as much time as you need, compare it to other words, start trying to use the skills you would if you came across a word and you didn't know. Okay, the words are audience and audible. What is the root you see? And what do you think it means? If you guessed listening or something similar, you're correct. See, it really isn't that bad. So here are some resources for you guys on where to find common English roots and information regarding words with roots you might know. Believe it or not, a dictionary is the best place to start. You can look up the word and perhaps find roots with similar roots all around it. Check out the thesaurus too. The resources I'm giving you guys is the Merriam-Webster, dictionary.com, and thesaurus.com. Okay, you guys, now time for the test. It's your turn again. Apply what you've learned and try to figure out these root meanings. Your words are asteroid and astronomy, automatic and autopsy, chronic and synchronize, geography and geology. You have 2 words for each root and each meaning. Take your time and answer them one at a time, identifying the root for the 2 words and what you think the meaning is of that root. Alright, check your answers with the ones provided. How did you do? Did you do better or worse than you thought, and why? The answers are that ast means space, auto means self, chro is time, and geo is earth. Any other words that you think have these roots in them? Make note of them. Look them up in some of the resources available. See if it lists more. Take this time to make sure that before you leave this slide that you know exactly how to find your resources and that you feel confident from this lesson. Okay, thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you learned something new today. I hope that you guys can now identify nuances, roots of words, and feel confident that if you can't, that you have the resources available to find out the roots and what the word might mean. I hope that this improves your reading skills and just your general vocabulary. Bye-bye.